The story of Risotto alla Milanese is one of romance and art. The Italians tell the story of a 16th century glassmaker named Valerio who loved saffron, and while working on the windows of the Duomo Cathedral, colored his stained glass yellow with saffron. On his wedding day, his friends surprised him by adding saffron to the rice for his banquet, coloring it a royal gold. Everyone loved the stunt and it became part of Milan's repertoire. I'm here today with Chef Keith Endo from Vino, and today he's going to show you how to make a risotto alla Milanese.
So these are ingredients for our risotto alla Milanese. So we have our white wine, we have our Maui onions, we have our carnaroli rice, which is an arborio rice. It's a high quality arborio rice, so it's carnaroli. It's equivalent to like Japanese sushi temaki gold rice. We have some pecorino romano, which is a cheap smoked cheese, and then we also have some aged Parmigiano Reggiano. We have fresh garlic, butter, and of course that makes it all of Milanese saffron risotto. Saffron, excuse me. Another famous dish from Milan is ossobuco. This is where ossobuco comes from. So a lot of times you'll find anytime we go to Milan, you'll always get ossobuco, and you'll always see saffron risotto on the menu. Never regular rice. It's always saffron risotto. So instead of ossobuco, we are going to add some veal jus to our saffron risotto. So we got the hot pan. I don't like to use extra virgin olive oil. I just like to use like a regular vegetable oil, which is a neutral oil that doesn't have too much flavor to it. And we're not looking for that. We're actually looking for the flavor of the saffron, which is very delicate. So we're trying not to mask that by using some good extra virgin olive oil, which is not really necessary to use in this one since we're cooking with it. So we're going to start off with our onions, diced onions. And we just want to sweat this out. We don't want any color at all. We don't want any caramelization out. We just want to reduce the aromatics. So I'm just going to go ahead and sweat that out a little bit. It's not going to take long. You definitely need to go on and start on a hot pan. So if anything, just add the oil to a cool pot, bring it up to heat, and then let it slowly come up to temperature. Yeah, we just want it to get nice and clear. You'll see it can start getting a little clear. Now we get the white out of that. What that does, it just brings out the flavor of the onions without the sugar caramelization on it. Okay, then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. Sweat this out as well. You just want to take the raw flavor of the garlic out. It just takes a few seconds.
It smells so good.
Huh?
It smells so
good. Because it's almost like a soffritto. So like a soffritto is all your aromatics. So similar to something that you have. We were talking about the bolognese tagliatelle alla ragu. A lot of it is they base their bolognese sauce on the ragu on a soffritto, which is just the aromatics. So we're just releasing aromatics. So now what we want to do is we want to saute our rice. And what sauteing the rice does is it keeps the grains intact. It kind of creates a little shell on the outside of the rice to protect the center of the rice. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want the rice to crack. So as you can see, we want to try and keep the grains as whole as possible. Because what happens is once they open, the starch is released and it gets very starchy.
So actually, it's kind of nutritious.
Exactly.
Sure. The rice through.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're just gonna give this a quick whirl. Okay. Then we have our white wine. Okay. Any white wine is fine. You can use any cooking wine, or it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just some kosher salt with some fresh cracked black pepper. So now we're gonna add the saffron. Saffron a little. So what you're gonna see is the yellow start to bleed out.
Oh, okay.
So like I was telling you, so in Milan they used to use saffron and soak it in water and use that as a coloring for stained glasses and windows. So we're gonna slowly add a little bit of liquid. You can add chicken stock, beef stock, anything you have on hand, and it could be bottled, it could be boxed. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you can find in the store. Something light though, something not too heavy. So I prefer a chicken stock. Chicken stock or even just water is fine.
How about vegetable stock?
Vegetable stock is fine as well. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, I'm going to lower the temperature a little bit. And against all golden rules that I've learned in school, we do not want to stir this as much as possible. So what I like to do is I like to slowly fold it. Make sure it stays off the bottom.
The yellow comes off very quickly.
Yeah, it does. You'll see, yeah. And so what we want to do right now is we're just slowly making sure that we keep it off the bottom so it doesn't stick. Because what we don't want to do, like I said in the beginning part, we don't want to stir it too much because what happens is it'll get really starchy. And we want our risotto to be nice and fluffy and creamy. So the creaminess doesn't come from the start. The creaminess comes from butter and cheese that we add at the end. So right now we just want to cook it. This will take about 15 to 20 minutes depending. And what you're looking for is this. You can see the center of the rice is white. We want to make sure that we get that. We want to make sure we cook that out. Because what happens is when you bite it now, you'll bite it and you'll see like a little hard center in the middle. So we want to get rid of that. We want to cook that out. So once that happens, then you'll know it's done. Some people in Milan like it really al dente, so I'm not a big fan of al dente. I guess it's because I'm local and I'm from Hawaii.
Yeah, you like the soft rice.
Yeah, you know, and most people, you know, a lot of the dry pasta that I had in Italy, I mean, it was a little too al dente, even a little too al dente for me. So, and to ask them to cook it well done is not an option. So we're going to cook this out until we get all of this out. Like I said, it's going to take about 15 minutes, and then after that, we'll go ahead and finish it. So now, since it's 3/4 of the way done, we're pretty safe to start going ahead and we're going to start stirring it. So it's still a little soupy, but you'll see as soon as you add the cheese and the butter, it'll get nice and creamy.
So you separate out like one portion then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. When you learned how to make this? Like, did you get it right the first time?
No, not really. It took a few trial and errors. See, because normally when people make risotto, you just always see it stick to the bottom. So this, as you can see, because there's not that much starch in the liquid, it doesn't really stick to the bottom. It doesn't at all.
Is it because people add all their liquid at once, maybe?
It could be, or they just stir it too much. That's what happens. Because what happens is what makes it stick is all the starch in the rice. So once we start getting it ready for service, for plating, now we're gonna just keep. Now we want to keep stirring. So now we want our rice grains have to be pretty much set from the initial cooking process. So now it's almost like when you eat good nigiri. You always see the rice. You can actually see all the rice grains and they're all perfect.
Maybe one of those dishes that you have to watch all the way through.
Yeah.
Like you have to concentrate.
Not at all. That's why a lot of times in Milan, when you go to a really good restaurant, on the menu it will say allow at least 20 to 30 minutes for this dish, and this is exactly why, because you can't pre-make this ahead of time. You can cook it 3/4 way like I did earlier, and then finish it. When you finish it in a pan, it takes about another at least 10 to 15 minutes just from just getting it perfect.
I don't think a lot of the customers appreciate all the work that goes into it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of love in this.
You can tell it's ready.
Look at that. Yeah. When you bite into the center, it shouldn't stick to your teeth. But it'll make it nice and rich, and it kind of makes it a more rounded flavor. You can tell, yeah, it's something really creamy now. And then we're gonna add the Parmesan cheese. So this is our 36-month-old aged Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano. Never use the drum still. Always use Parmigiano Reggiano. So as you can see, the color has changed a little. It's still nice and yellow, but you can see like the butter is now yellow.
Yeah.
Creaminess, all the cheesy business in there.
Well, you could be on a diet to eat this.
Yeah, this will probably be maybe three people.
This portion?
Yeah,
Really?
because when you eat one bite, you'll know why. Right. Okay. And now, when they plate in Milan, it's nice. We're gonna do a nice spoonful of soy like this, and we're gonna take our spoon and spread it.
Tell us why you're spreading it.
I like to spread it like this because what happens is it makes the rice nice and even and uniform. Because if you put it into a huge ball, so most of the time the center part will overcook, and we don't want that. So we're looking for it nice and rich like this. And then we're gonna make a little pinwheel.
Is that traditional?
Very traditional. Like I said, normally this would be. I'm using this instead of ossobuco. So normally you have an ossobuco. In Milan, you always have ossobuco. And so we're gonna finish this. So there's actually Parmigiano Reggiano in the center, and then we're gonna use a sheepsmilk cheese called Pecorino Romano. This is from the Emilia Romagna area, which is north of Milan. And plain and simple. Whoa. 45 minutes later. You're full by the time we finish.
Wow. Wow. This is so good and rich, but I could eat the whole plate.
But it's lighter than most risottos.
Yeah, because sometimes they're so like cheesy and thick, and you feel like you can't eat a lot.
Yeah.
But this one is so delicious and so well balanced that I feel like I could eat the whole plate. Good job.
So anytime you go to Milan, that's one of the main dishes you'll see ossobuco with alla risotto Milanese. So anytime you see that, that's like when you add the go-to dish. You have to get ossobuco with saffron risotto, which we made today. So it's a great was eye-opening experience for me to learn the culture. I love saffron risotto. I love risotto, but to learn just that part of the culture and to kind of talk to some of the chefs who actually made it was pretty inspiring. And so I kind of wanted to bring that to Hawaii, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Okay. And over there, it's like such a craft. So they'll like stand there and make them one by one, like spending 20 minutes at a time or more.
Absolutely. Like I was saying, I knew this one restaurant, they had a line out the door, and it was specifically everybody ate the risotto. And because the chef was so into his risotto and so proud of his risotto that when he would make it to order, and he would actually recommend that each guest ordered at least a half an hour in advance before their appetizers and drinks, so he could get started on it. Because he preferred to make every single one himself. So you can imagine, selling 100 orders and only one person making it. It's pretty special. So when I got in and I got to eat it, I found out why. It was really good.
So, but if that happened to you, like if everybody came in and ordered the risotto, you'd be in trouble because it takes so long to make each one.
I would definitely be in trouble. But I would not want to cut corners, because normally, to me, good dishes come from the soul, from the heart, and I think you can't cut that. So I think if people get it, like I was telling you, when I make it, even though it takes a long time, the first thing I do after I make it and the server takes it out, the first thing I do is watch for their first reaction when they eat it, and if you'll see their eyes light up and they understand why it takes so long.